ayayere uyo uko kuno apo pano mamuona kere nai.
Right, 7 December 2021, and today I've got a very, very interesting topic about my favorite topic, Nelson Chamisa, president of the MDC Alliance. So chaos has broken out in the MDC Alliance because of Chamisa's armored car. So if you are not aware, there is a fundraising campaign which is currently underway, where Chamisa is getting a car, an armored car, so that he can travel around Zimbabwe safely. And I want to give you a picture of the car that they intend to buy. So this is the car that they want to buy Chamisa, an armored car, a Toyota Land Cruiser, which is similar to the one that Bobi Wine, the Ugandan opposition leader, has got. So the fundraising campaign started a few months ago. You remember the time when there was that big story that Chamisa was being attacked when he went to Masvingo. That is when this fundraising started, and there has been a lot of money that was raised for Chamisa's car, his armored car. And I want to show you the actual stats of the funds as we speak, how much money is in the fund. So I'm going to show you the amount of money that they've raised. It is $114,000 US dollars. That is the amount that Chamisa supporters have managed to raise, which is a great job. They've done a good job raising these funds. So if you look here on the screen, this is the GoFundMe where they've raised all this money. And if you look at the people who have donated, it's a lot of people, ordinary people who have raised this money. But the most interesting part is not about the people who contributed the money. The most interesting part about this fundraising is the people that are leading the fundraising. So if you look at my screen, these are the people that are in charge of the fundraising. So the people that are in Zimbabwe are not able to be on the team because you have to be in America. So Mdarawakwa B, Munyangube, Henry Mnashe Jaji, Tino Mambeu, Tino Mdzekenyedzi Chiremba, and Shepherd Yuda. These are the people who are here. And then Treasure Basopo has been canvassing a lot on this fund. However, there is also a man called Juma Ulete. If I'm not mistaken, he is part of this fundraising team. The problem that has arisen is that all these people that you see on this screen, they do not hold any formal position in any MDC structure. So everyone that I've listed here, there is no one who's got any formal position in the MDC. There has also not been any resolution of the MDC that allowed the collection of these funds. So basically what has happened here is that this is something that was created from outside the MDC, and as the money continued to grow, resistance has started to grow from within the MDC as people fear that Chamisa is falling into a trap. And what is the trap? The trap is that ZANU-PF aligned people will create a fund, buy a car for Chamisa, And then the whole 2023 campaign of Nelson Chamisa is going to be in the hands of those people. They're going to say, we, the people, these 4 people, these 7 people here, these are the people that have created the fund for Nelson Chamisa's 2023 campaign. These people are at the forefront. Or in short, these people are like the disciples of Jesus Christ as far as the 2023 election of Nelson Chamisa is concerned. And this has brought about a backlash. So I wanted to look at my brother, Simbach Kanza. What I like about Simbach Kanza is he is on top of everything that happens in the MDC. If you see Simba raising a topic, it will immediately become a big issue in the near future. So let's look at what Simba Kanza is saying here. Some CIOs busy thinking they can infiltrate Nelson Chamisa, helping in purchasing him an armored car, hoping he will go the Tangrae lane. That's Chamisa for money. So this is very, very clear. MDC, key MDC leaders have been wanting to say what Simbach Kanza is saying here. People in the leadership structures of the MDC, they do not want this car. They do not want those people who are raising the car to raise for Chamisa. So let's start with Mdaraokwa B. Right, Mdaraokwa B, he is the man based in the United States of America. He is the person who started this fund. So if you look, he's called T. Vashi. Very rare to see a picture of Mdaraokwa B. Very rare to see him speaking. If I'm sure 99.99% of the MDC have never met him, have never seen him, have never seen his picture, have never seen him at any function of the MDC. I did call him yesterday because I talked to him sometime. And I say, Mdara, why is Simbach Kanza saying you are a CIO, you are raising money for Chamisa? And he says he doesn't know. I called my brother, Tino Mambeo. Tino Mambeo, you all know Tino Mambeo. During the transition from Mugabe to the current government of President Mnangagwa, Tino Mambeo in South Africa here, he was leading the team that was communicating on behalf of President Mnangagwa with Ese Lumumba. So Tino Mambeo was at the forefront of leading this whole process of communicating that President Mnangagwa should take over. In fact, I want to play for you a short clip of Tino Mambeo. Tino Mambeo is not, and he has never been, an MDC supporter. He is a progressive young man, but he's not an MDC supporter. So let me play for you a short clip during the generational consensus meeting, which was held in 2019 after the elections. Tino Mambeo was the only person who was supporting ZANU-PF at that meeting. So let me play for you the clip so that you understand what I'm saying.
To refer to ZANU-PF as an enemy, it's an understatement and it is a bogus conclusion. That is my submission in terms of generation. They are saying I'm now speaking more as a ZANU-PF supporter.
But he is allowed.
Yeah, we are making submission. Okay. So I believe that ZANU-PF is a political party. It has got to be engaged. It has got members. And if MDC Alliance must win, they must convince those members of ZANU-PF to come to the alliance. How can you convince me if you tell me that we are a terrorist mafia organization? I've been to Zim several times right now. Since the president said Zimbabwe is open for business, I've been there, and even the old woman in my village, they've started the cabbage farming because they understand Zimbabwe is now open for business. So Even others have even started serious cattle rearing, serious goat and sheep farming, because they understand Zimbabwe is now open for business. Things are changing now. So there is mining, there is agriculture, all sectors of the economy you are free to enter. You are free to enter anywhere you can enter. I've actually been to the Ministry of Finance. I spoke to the minister there. They told me of the opportunities that are bound. I've been to the Ministry of Agriculture, I've been to the Ministry of Mines. It's just a matter of somebody coming up with a plan and saying, okay, if you don't have finance, remember to attract finance and go to have a proposal that works.
Right. So this is the man who is raising money for Nelson Chamisa, the presidential candidate of the MDC Alliance. He's raising money for his car. You can see why people are mad in the MDC Alliance. Their blood is boiling. They cannot understand how such a thing can happen. And I want to take you back to another incident that happened involving a car. And this was Senator Kalipani Pugeni talking to me in early 2020.
Tagwire, by the way, do you know that, and I'm telling you this, as I'm putting this on record, you can break with it as breaking news, by the way, okay, so that he can either take me to court or Chamisa can take me to court. He bought Chamisa recently, I think it's a month or two ago, he bought him the latest Land Cruiser, V8. There, okay. You have it.
Tagwire bought.
Yes, I'm giving you, I'm on record. This is my face. I'm sober. You know, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm as sober as they come. I'm putting it on record. He bought him. Let him deny it.
Right. So Chamisa has the second controversy involving a car. And the first, obviously, in the 2018 elections, the car, a white Land Cruiser that was bought for Nelson Chamisa by ZANU-PF backer Tagwire. And now we have this fundraising going on, and it is being led by people that are not in the MDC structures. Why is this happening? Firstly, you have to understand the dynamics in the MDC Alliance. And I want to unpack what I've been saying for a very, very long time. Chamisa cannot create a system. That's what I've been saying over the past few months. He cannot preside over a system. So what happens is things happen according to who is where the resources are at that particular time. So if you look at the South Africa MDC Alliance, they could easily raise this money to buy Chamisa a Land Cruiser. But if you look at someone like Trustnjov, he's not interested in doing anything to do with fundraising. I've been saying this for a very, very long time. Trustnjov is only interested in being the chairman of South Africa, but he's not interested in raising funds. If we're to say every person in South Africa, every member of the MDC, put 1,000 rands or $75, you've got more than 1,000 members here. You could buy 10 cars for Nelson Chamisa, but they don't do it. They will never do it. In the UK, Chamisa's political party has got no structures. If the guys in the UK were to say £100 each, they could buy Chamisa 10 cars. Similarly, in the United States of America, in Canada, in New Zealand, in Australia, they could buy Chamisa a car. The problem is the MDC Alliance does not have structures. Similarly, in Zimbabwe, if they wanted, they could say every person put $10, $10 US. I'm not talking about 100. They'll buy Chamisa 10 cars. But they do not do it because they lack structures. There is no way for Chamisa to communicate with the people on the ground. That's why you saw him driving from place to place. He lacks the way to communicate with his members. He lacks a way of getting feedback from his members. That is why you see guys like Tino Mambeo, who are not in the MDC. They can easily come in and lead a fundraising once you lead the fundraising and Chamisa jumps into that car and drives it, he's now a slave to those guys. Every time Chamisa drives to a certain place, those guys are now in charge of whatever he does. They've contributed above and beyond, something tangible. And similarly, this is the reason why you see that Chamisa doesn't have offices. They cannot raise funds. They cannot create an organization. They are not able to do it. That's why people are able to jump in. The way that Mdara Okwabi, Tinomambeu, there's a guy here called Ngube. I've never seen him. I've never heard him. I don't think anyone in the MDC knows that guy, who he is. And these are the people that are raising a car fund for the president of the party. And also, if you look at the reason why they're raising the fund, they had to create a story that Chamisa is being attacked. And now, obviously, people felt sorry for Chamisa and they started to raise funds. So now looking at these guys here, they are unknown. Shepherd Yuda, of course, but Shepherd Yuda is not on the team. Trezor Basopo, he's a well-known guy, but he's not in the structures of the MDC. Someone like Freeman Chari, who raises funds a lot, is not here. And Freeman Chari is a very reputable person. He's well-known by all MDC supporters. But in fact, by all Zimbabweans, Freeman Chari is known. When we were building toilets during Cyclone Idai, there were some toilets that were destroyed in my village, there in Gambakwe village, and at a school. So we started to build, I started to fund the toilet building. And when we almost we finished digging, we dug the holes and everything, Freeman Chari came in with a bunch of other guys, and they managed to complete the project. They also built a lot of schools. These guys are not here. The guys that are here are unknown, are not part of the usual MDC funders. So that is where this comes out. There is now two groups in the MDC, a group that is made up of original MDC supporters. That is saying, who are these guys? Why are they coming here to fund Nelson Chamisa's car? And what are the implications? Then obviously, there are people that are ordinary people in the MDC. They want Chamisa to have a car, but they do not understand who exactly is leading this project and what are the implications. So basically, where we are now, I think Simbachi Kanza is right. There is a lot of questions about who is funding this car. It is a trap, as far as I'm concerned. If Chamisa jumps into this car, he's going to regret it very, very badly. He's going to be embarrassed, just the same way he was embarrassed when he took a car from Kudata Gure. And you know that Chamisa has never driven that car in public ever since Senator Kalipani Pogeni revealed that Tagure had bought that car. So it is basically a mistake for Chamisa to have allowed these guys to use his name to raise these funds for the car without doing thorough vetting to say who is raising these funds. For example, Tino Mambeo, definitely they should not have allowed Mambeo, who 2 years ago was working for basically President Mnangagwa's campaign, to come and then raise funds for Nelson Chamisa so shortly after the elections in 2018. And what are the implications? Because he is not in the structures. Why would the South African MDC structures fail to raise money here or to lead this process? If it was a sanctioned fundraising, why didn't they come up and raise funds on behalf of Chamisa? As I said, if everyone puts $100 US here in South Africa, you can buy Chamisa 10 cars. Chamisa would have 20 cars. He doesn't need this one car, which has got so many questions hanging above it. Who is doing this? Also, it's based on that almost lie in Masvingo to say Chamisa was being attacked. Why was that created, that story, to say Chamisa is being attacked? Now he needs a car. So you can see from there that this is a very, very big problem. I now want to end with what Chamisa should do. If I was Chamisa, what would I do now that the funds are almost there? They're almost raised, 120,000 US dollars. So what I would do if I was Chamisa, and this is a very, very difficult decision. The first thing I thought was, if I was Chamisa, I would say, instead of buying me an armored car, buy me a stage bus. Okay, so if you're an MDC supporter, listen very, very carefully. This is a good decision. This is a good idea. Say, okay, instead of buying me as the president of the party, a bus, a car, an armored car, please go and buy a stage bus. A stage bus is a bus which, when you drive it to any place, it becomes a stage. You stand on it, you can drive on it, and then when you get to a place, you don't have to set up. Every place you go to becomes a stage. That's what I would do if I was Chamisa. Buy that stage bus, bring it into Zimbabwe, let it become the property of the MDC Alliance. At least now, it's not directly linked to Chamisa. So that is the good suggestion that I would give to Nelson Chamisa. Otherwise, I would say, guys, I'm sorry, I cannot accept your money as the president of the MDC. I will not be able to accept this money from people who are not in the structures of the MDC. So I've given you a good suggestion there. Those who have got ears, the MDC, the proper MDC guys, they know Gambako has got good ideas. I've given you a good idea. Not for Chamisa to drive around in that bus, in that armored car. He doesn't need it. No one is going to kill Chamisa in Zimbabwe. He's not going to win in this next election. I can bet you that I'll be back here in 2023 and I'll be talking about this. No one is going to attack Chamisa. He's going to be able to go around freely like he's been going, but it's not going to happen this time around. So now let's go to the comments and let's wrap up. Today I want to keep it very, very short. And I want to ignore all the young MDC supporters who do not think deeply. You know, like, I like people who think deeply. So let's go to Sean. Gabba, we don't care. We will still buy the car, whether you like it or not. Sean, go ahead and buy the car. And then when you find out who is raising your funds, come back to me and let me know how that goes. Let's go to someone else. I want to go to a quick comment, something different. Right, Andrew is saying, yes, the issue of lack of grassroots structures in MDC is a failure and a big one. I think this one, I have to keep repeating it. The biggest problem with Nelson Chamisa is that he cannot create a system. And what is a system? A system is made up of structures, of records, right? To say, here we've got these people, here we've got these people. In South Africa, we've got these people. They don't have that. And then you have to have an actual information system. You saw what happened to the website of the MDC. They created a website and immediately it went very, very well. After 2 months, they failed to maintain that website. The MDC Alliance is behind when it comes to the use of social media compared to ZANU-PF. Go to the ZANU-PF page right now, the Facebook page. The ZANU-PF Facebook page is more active, is updated every day. The ZANU-PF website is updated every day. Their membership cards are up to date. All these things are not there in the MDC Alliance. This is where Chamisa is failing on structures, on records, and on an information system, and then on a strategy. So that is where Chamisa is failing to create a system. Also on security and vetting. Anyone can come into the MDC and they can do whatever. There is no, as long as someone says, I give you money, the MDC Alliance is just going to jump and say, give us that money. They do not take time to say, who is this person? Why are they coming? What should you do with this money? The decision making is very, very poor. And this goes back to the lack of following of their own rules. They don't follow their own rules. They get surprised when things happen. Now, let's go to the last few ones. You fear Chamisa Gambako. I don't fear Chamisa. Chamisa, I supported him. Most of you here know Chamisa because of me. When he was starting off to campaign, we started off supporting Chamisa. And there's nothing to fear in Chamisa. As I said to you, he's going to lose in 2021. In 2023, he's going to lose those elections. He's not going to win because of the very same mistakes that he's making now. And as Alex is saying here, MDCA, as we are speaking now, infiltrated by CIO. Please, this one is 100%. Gambako is right here, 100%. Of course, this one, however, I'm right. It's very easy to infiltrate the MDC because they lack structures, they lack a strategy, they lack a knowledge of intelligence, everything that you can imagine. Imagine Fadzai Mahere was their biggest critic, being funded by Shingiminyeza back in the day, in 2018. And within a year, she was back now as the spokesperson of the MDC Alliance. And you see that she's not doing anything. She's just lying back and relaxing and making sure that nothing happens. The MDC has no coherent communication strategy. And they don't know why. It's clear that the MDC is in disarray as we speak. Nothing is going to happen until they change the way they do things. And anyway, I'm not advising Chamisa, I'm just saying what is happening. I saw a comment here to say, do not advise Chamisa. I'm not advising him. I am giving you a blow-by-blow account as will lead towards his loss in 2023 because of this kind of bungling. You can't have someone like Tino Mambe in your fundraising team. Totally unacceptable if you are the MDC Alliance. And then I want to go to the last comment. Elvis Tanaka Mtomba, you supported Chamisa 3 years ago, same as Tino, you supported ED, you both changed in less than 2 years. Well, the difference between me and Tino Mambe is that I did not ever jump ship and become a ZANU-PF supporter. You see, I appreciate the policies of ZANU-PF, but I've never held the ZANU-PF card, I've never been a member, and I've never joined the ZANU-PF. So it's like me now, if you see me in President Mnangagwa's fundraising team, that would be chaos. You would never expect that to happen. So do not compare such a thing. It will not happen. They must be vetting. For all I know, ZANU-PF must suspect me. Everything I do, they must suspect me. They mustn't even allow me to be near their party because of the things, the history of Gambako. Gambako talks what he likes every day about ZANU-PF. Why would you allow Gambako to now come and become your fundraising team leader? So, for example, you make me the head of security for President Mnangagwa. Does that make sense to you? No. So this is what Chamisa is doing. He is allowing people that way in the total opposite party, who have not even said they're members of his party, to be very close to the key activities that lead up to the 2023 election. And it doesn't bother him. It doesn't bother him that these people are fundraising in his name and they're becoming prominent. So this small team here that is raising a car for Chamisa is going to become the most prominent team in his campaign. They are going to go around with the bragging rights to say, you see where Chamisa is. We put him there. We raised the when people wanted to kill him, we protected Chamisa. We are the ones. So this is where you see the danger of this kind of thing. It can never happen. It's like someone buys Chamisa a suit and Chamisa goes to address a rally. That person is owning Chamisa. He's got him in his pocket. Right. I want to end it here. And I think There's no comment here that I am very interested in. You guys can always go in and have a look. Jonasi was here yesterday. Please go and look at the video that we did where we're looking at the top 10 Africa investment destinations. Very, very interesting. I like Jonasi. Jonasi is one of the most smartest economic analysts. If you want to know about economics, listen to Jonasi. I always learn a lot when I talk to him. Right. Tinashe is saying, and those guys will take top positions. By the way, I want you guys to know that Tinomambeo is like a brother to me. I've been to his house, and he's a nice guy. But I don't think he should be raising funds for Chamisa. I think this is a bad mistake. But he was very close to Morgan Tsvangirai. So just before Morgan Tsvangirai died, Tinomambeo used to walk around with Morgan Tsvangirai. They were very, very close. In fact, I think they were related. But what I'm saying is things have changed. The game has changed. If you see things like this coming out, Simbachkanza saying, this is making him very unpopular to say something like this. If you see Simbachkanza saying this, there are a lot of other people in the MDC Alliance who think Nelson Chamisa is making a mistake here by buying this car, using this team that he's using to raise these funds through GoFundMe. Right, I'm done here for today, and I think I should take a rest. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. We'll be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to be having a guest or two. We want to look at why Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema, after 100 days, has failed to achieve anything. It's been a total disaster in Zambia. And let's look at what has caused that and what is going to happen very, very soon in Zambia because of the lack of delivery that is happening over there. Thank you very much and good night.
Ay, 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 ay.